Hello and welcome to SKTV News. You're watching Primetime English News with me, Suchitra Rajkumari. The headlines first. Injured mother Oinam Binita in Tronglaubi blast cries for justice, vows not to step back until those behind heinous act are punished. Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity COCOMI to continue agitation along with people until government takes action on Tronglaubi killings. COCOMI advisor Jitendra Ningomba alleges government targeting leaders working to save Manipur instead of confronting illegal immigration challenge. Mantriben Development Committee and Namdilong Village Authority warn armed Kuki elements to refrain from any movement or activity in Kanglatongbi area. Manipur government extends a mobile internet ban in 5 valley districts, Imphal West, East, Bishnupur, Thoubal and Kakching until April 14 amid tense situation. And now the news in detail. In a heart-wrenching appeal from her hospital bed at Raj Medicity, Oinam Binita, the grieving mother who lost her 2 children in the brutal Tronglaubi Awanglekai bomb attack, broke down as she demanded justice and end to the ongoing violence. Still recovering from critical injuries sustained during the horrific blast on the intervening night of April 6 and 7, Binita said the sacrifice of her children for the motherland must not go in vain and that people's decision would be her final path forward. Her voice trembling with pain, she recounted how the attack shattered their lives in an instant. She stated that her husband was away serving the nation in defense forces while they slept under the assumed protection of deployed security personnel. That sense of security turned into unimaginable horror when the merciless explosion struck in the dead of the night. Fighting back tears, she questioned the very purpose of security deployment if innocent lives cannot be protected. Having undergone multiple surgeries for 5 bomb splinter injuries, 4 in her right hand and 1 in her pelvic region, Binita has now been shifted from the ICU to a deluxe ward as her condition improves. However, her emotional wounds remain fresh. She vowed not to step back until those behind the heinous act are punished, condemning the continued inaction of government despite repeated killings of innocent civilians. She questioned when will peace return, voicing the anguish of countless mothers across the state and lamenting that justice is yet to be delivered for the incident.
Kayam kuina khoje santi phang bida lay gidoino kiraga chain gidoino khoje kayam kuina isagi yum da bokta label ngamaktre de khoi hoje kadai da layo haibano security gi force kambu gi mayam lay leina makhoi lantho oga laaga akhoi gi yum du da attack do bodo kari mata phaba sungam hode ichagi thawai mang ki bodo makhoi ngasi bokso coming operation tawraga mi hat pa dandi piba ba uji action do ba kari mata ude mama ide icha hat pa mi hat pa do dandi pi tri ba de thona han ma leiro ei icha do kari su khangjadri bane heying do da mama ina golaga tum jering ei da mama heraga mama nungsi heraga tum gi ba do adu do ne amu nei mama ko bata ba phangidre ai ngon da thori ba to do se sumna mama mata gi manthai chak pa cha iba mai chang se kana mata phang da boi chanu ko adu sarkar gi mai kai de gi ngasi bo bo de action amata lokhat pi da ba akhoi bu ngasi kadai wa da leyo ha bano thabak phana wa na su amata urasu yum hainari bane yum jidala ga pothama moijege haraga pothana bagi do da laine si da bokta isa da safety oidre de koi kadai da le so hai bano security force mo koi lei bagi kari su kana de lei ta banu pai mo koi leite haraba di charging do koi ahing tum da gai ngaong gani adu maina ngak serama de sumaina su charging gi punchi do mangam moi mo koi na koi bang pi sen biri khalaga tha bane cha da su masagam da bagi hida pitha ga tum da gi batai me ngoi bagi Ngakang tumdarge ko mamasu haraga makholaga tumane jani magto aigi jani dudi imale bang damakta sinagrabane mayamge apamba tobiro nangak tawni wadi miyamge apamba duda ai apamba oire.
Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity has announced that agitation will continue across Manipur until government takes appropriate action over the killings of Tronglaubi. In a press release, COCOMI's IPR subcommittee convener condemned the incident at Tronglaubi Awang Lekai, where Kuki militants reportedly killed 2 children in their sleep using rocket-propelled grenade RPG, describing it as one of the most brutal attacks in the world. Following the incident, irate protesters staged demonstrations near a CRPF camp, accusing security forces of failing to protect civilians and demanding their withdrawal. Tensions escalated when CRPF personnel opened fire on unarmed civilians, resulting in the death of 3 persons and injuries to several others. The committee further alleged that the continued silence of India's President, Prime Minister, and Union Home Minister over the incident is proof that the people of Manipur are not being treated as equal citizens of the country. COCOMI asserted that protests will continue until justice is served and concrete action is taken by the government. Now, COCOMI advisor Jitendra Ningomba has slammed the government, stating it is busy trying to arrest those who actively work with the people in the movement against the disintegration of Manipur instead of facing those who are actually trying to disintegrate the state. He was speaking at a sit-in protest at Kairao Kuno against the Tronglaubi attack and subsequent firing upon civilians by CRPF personnel in a camp. The event was jointly organized by Nongpok Ningthau Panthoibi Development Committee and 5 local clubs in Kairao Bitra area. Speaking further, Jitendra alleged that the central government has remained a mute spectator to the targeted killings of innocent civilians by Kuki narco-terrorists. He also criticized the state government's failure to apprehend those responsible for the Tronglaubi attack, claiming that the current administration lacks the necessary seriousness to bring the perpetrators of such heinous crimes to justice. The COCOMI alleged that the government is focusing instead on suppressing the voices of the people's movement.
Honorable Chief Minister na atubo matamda Home Minister na atubo matamda Manipuri miyam na pami ba thawak kar de pakhel pam thoi haibduni kari no pakhel haije akhoi ning am na thawak natte kuju de khali ba akhoi misam halim kamusing dolo moda operation do Imphal koti thiu kodan taro aduguma narco terrorism adu matakka adu to ude ui harigade ngasi akhoi na sauri ba akhoi ni peni mo yabse kadabugi sagudo leili balenga aksine khari to riye haibdo akhoi Kangji Havani, Adubu Kang and the Minmanga Kuya Ubaya, visible with Tabuto, Tawdina Kui, what of the law whenever, what of the law Rivasida Mo, Makoyi, Ras, Dimoki, Masil, Kanabagi, Oregon, Kutum Savloga, Manipuri, Mianda, I call luxury by Kosovo, Pagani Punania, Sandor Inusi. Manipur Miami, Panada, the Titan of Honora, Visam Prasama, Equida, Intapa, Santi Leva, Equidi, Tatum, Equidi Castle, Man, and Honebu, Equidi Tomonta, Nan, and Honebu, Hybida, Makoina, Equida Lana, Pokinba, Launa Porto, the Pata, Potama, from Jaga.
The joint village bodies of Kanglatongbi area, comprising Mantriban Development Committee and Namdilong Village Authority, have issued an ultimate notice of caution against alleged armed Kuki elements, warning them to refrain from any movement or activity near civilian habitations. The statement said that despite maintaining restraint and advocating peaceful coexistence, repeated incidents of gunfire, including April 9 firing around 11:30 p.m., have caused panic among residents, with stray bullets hitting 2 houses. Liangmay Naga, Wider Naga, and Meitei communities of the area stated that continued provocation would not be tolerated and held that any harm to innocent civilians would be sole responsibility of those ignoring the warning. The village bodies also highlighted past incidents since May 2023, including mob attacks and firing at Kanglatongwi Bazaar and surrounding areas, and urged the state and central governments to take immediate steps to prevent escalation, ensure civilian safety, and restore peace and accountability. Now, Government of Manipur has extended suspension of mobile internet and mobile data services, including VPN services in 5 districts: Imphal West, Imphal East, Thoubal, Kakching, and Bisnupur, till April 14 for an additional 2 days with effect from 2 p.m. of April 12. The Home Department stated that the decision follows review of the prevailing law and order situation, which continues to remain volatile in the affected areas. The government expressed apprehension over potential spread of misinformation and rumors through social media platforms such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and X, which could lead to mobilization of mobs, public unrest, and damage to life and property. Officials noted that adequate technical mechanisms to effectively regulate mobile data services are still not in place, necessitating continuation of the suspension. However, broadband internet services ILL and FTTH remain conditionally restored in regulated and liberalized manner as per earlier orders. District magistrates of Imphal East, West, Bisnupur, Thoubal, and Kakching have issued a modified order partially relaxing the prohibitory restrictions under Section 163 of Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita BNSS 2023. As per the order issued on April 10, a movement of persons outside their residences will be permitted from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the same day, provided no activities that could disturb law and order are carried out. However, movement will remain strictly prohibited from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. of the following day. The order also maintains a ban on assembly of 5 or more persons in public places and prohibits the carrying of sticks, stones, firearms, sharp weapons, or explosive materials. The relaxation comes after a review of the prevailing situation while ensuring public safety and maintaining law and order. All other conditions of the earlier order dated April 8 will remain in force until further notice. Security forces fired numerous tear gas shells and live rounds into the air last night to disperse a massive rally in Thoubal district, demanding justice for the recent Tronglaubi incident and the subsequent firing upon civilians by CRPF personnel. The rally, which came from Wangjing side and moved towards Thoubal around 9 p.m., was initially blocked by a heavy security presence near the Thoubal SB office. After negotiations, the march was permitted to proceed to the Thoubal Mela ground. However, tensions escalated during the return journey. Security forces deployed tear gas and smoke bombs against protesters at Arongthong in Thoubal Athokpam. The situation turned volatile as crowds attempted to storm the SB office, leading to a prolonged confrontation. Security personnel continued firing tear gas and live rounds on air till around 2:30 a.m. to bring the crowd under control. Irate locals in Lamlai side imposed an immediate blockade along the Imphal-Ukhrul road following the arrest of Mangsa Tabam Sanjoy this morning. Sanjoy, who is the co-convener of the Lamlai Kendra Club and Mainapaibi, was reportedly detained by police for his role in organizing public protest. The unrest follows Sanjoy's recent announcement of a public curfew and the closure of all state and central government offices within the Lamlai constituency. Protesters have condemned the arrest as an attempt to suppress the movement sparked by the Tronglaubi incident and the subsequent firing on civilians by CRPF personnel. According to the protesters, the measures to impose public curfew and closure of government offices were decided during a public meeting after the government failed to address demands outlined in memorandums previously submitted to the Chief Minister.
Koi lamdagi mapi mapama koi banina sar sangaga koi na sar angangi sumaina phabire khole ngarangi irang dudagi tauri bara gari no habaji koi khangdre haiba matamji da sar jina haireba gi pot kadi mari leina de ma hane kai guma khara lai na haire aina paulong no ba matamda hai jina isa jina haijaruiba sar akoi di khulamagi lekai amagi angang ama sokpa taragadi akoi gari da lali bano kai dauri bano magi marani na gari no habaji di haibam thokpani ma masaje lali je kadai bungno kai do bono haibado asomda semda wari chanaraga kolaga ma thadong no badi singi haibadu ma jo haiba budi hai lasta police kaina ma thadu ming marala ma leiba male haiba wai je sana haibira kodagi aidi mayam na mihu thajalak banina aina kumjaiye sar ado akoi mai kai gidi sana mapi mapa oi banina khuding mak anyway magi marala leiram ba yai leiramaga ju kona khanaji sar na mapi mapa ma oi banina ngasi gidi angang je thadok biu aduna tragadi ngarangi khongjang dudagi hai huren ungdang na ju helak pa yana leiri.
Now, condemning the brutal attack at Tronglaubi, local clubs of Kurai, along with Maira Paibis, in collaboration with Amuko, MSF, Amawova, Kohar, and PLM-PAM, organized human chain protest at Kurai Lamlong Bazaar today. Protesters raised slogans such as "Go Back Central Forces," "Root Out Narco-Terrorists," and "Tronglaubi killing is highly condemnable," while also demanding protection for civilians and women and asserting self-determination as birthright. Speaking on the occasion, coordinating body Kurai spokesperson Thoiding Jamband questioned claims that normalcy has returned to Manipur, arguing that peace cannot be defined by the absence of firing from one side. He alleged that the conflict originates from Kuki-armed groups and stressed that lasting peace would require implementation of NRC to identify illegal immigrants and abrogation of suspension of Operation SU agreement with Kuki militants. He further demanded strict action against those responsible for Tronglaubi killings.
Manipur da Kuki ki lan lepi hai bise machine ko hangi se kumaina lan leke kari yana na kari to kumaina lan se leke bano Kuki na no mai ka pa lan lo je sin ho ya Kuki na no mai ka pe lan le se adu Kuki na ko chi no mak chi Kuki de le ni adu na je akoi na je se ji yamna Manipur le ri basi basi tong du lai ka ti har ke di NRC to gana akoi census to ya roi adu ga athu matam da koi angan haliba koi Kuki nar ko everything ji athu ga par ga Jaira Piba, Suji Handopiba, Aduga, Bisam Home Chat in a capital judicial inquiry, Hamon Toko Maran Singh, Hamon Diani Kuragi, Makegi, authorities in the Nobu Shinja.
Kwakaithel apun Maira Paibi Loop in association with Amuko, Amawova, Kohar, MSF, and Poirei Lemerol Maira Paibi apun Manipur organized sit-in protest at Kwakaithel Bazaar against killing of 2 children and 3 persons in CRPF firing during the protest at Tronglaubi. Large number of women from Kaisamthong, Nauria Pakhang Lakpa, Sagolband, and Patsoy Assembly constituencies and children took part in the sit-in protest today. Placards written "Root Out Kuki Narco-Terrorist," "Punish those involved in killing of innocent civilians," "End to state terrorism," and "Stop India's policy to erase indigenous people" were displayed during the protest. Protesters have expressed strong discontent over state governments seemingly not taking seriously attitude towards Tronglaubi killings. Uripok Apunbalup UAL Vice President Khwairakpam Tarun Kumar has demanded that the central government declare Chin Kuki armed groups as terrorists, citing that alleged constant attacks against civilians in the hills and valley districts. He was speaking to the media on the sidelines of a peace protest against the Tronglaubi incident and the subsequent firing upon civilians by CRPF personnel in the camp. The rally, jointly organized by UAL and Uripok Nupi Apunbalup UNAL, began from Lamboy Khongnangkhong football ground and concluded at the foot of Uripok flyover bridge. Speaking further, Tarun Kumar announced that UAL and UNAL will continue to take on agitations along with the public until those responsible for the 2 incidents are punished. He further demanded the immediate arrest of the perpetrators involved in the Tronglaubi attack and the conduct of a judicial inquiry to terminate the CRPF personnel involved in the firing incident.
Uripok miyamgi demand di object case to NIA na pai re haira banina NIA investigation je khwaji ga thu tam to lotion biba charge sheet athu bu submit to honba abri day to day basis ta trial to rakanda maran laiba kuki terrorist khudima capital punishment yauna khwaji hak pa serak biba amri CRP no me kap thibi thodok adusu judicial inquiry to hon biba amri judicial inquiry findings ki matungina thodok to senari ba CRP personnel sing thabok te dismiss to bogol na moi khwaji hak pa adugumba punishment pihanba amadi akoi mitai amadi tangkhul sinau singda mayal tena terrorize to riba kuki gi militant outfit terrorist khulmak central government na akoi bu ban terrorist organization ne hadana lokthok hanba masi uripok miyam na pambani.
Condemning against Tronglaubi killing, residents of Sagolban, Moirang, Lerak, Nepra, Menjor, Mamang Lekai staged protest demonstration today. Nepra, Menjor, Kawang, Chakut Nupiluk President Laidenjam Sumatibala said the cause of the violence in Manipur is due to the influx of illegal immigrants. She highlighted the need to deport them in order to avoid such unfortunate incidents, adding that supporting them will likely lead to extinction of indigenous population. She also demanded immediate action against armed Kuki militants.
सरकार की शासन लैरी इंडिया सरकार की शासन लैरी मणिपुर से इंडिया की स्टेट अमनी मागी स्टेट अमदा सही अहम चुपना मिसम मियाम अमबु लेबम चाफम खंगंदना घाक लरगा खरा हातपा घाक लरगा खरा सिहनबा इंधरे हायरगा इंधरपदो अमुक कायहौरगा मधुबो अमुक सरांगनब फिबम अमदा थंबा सिदी मियोयबगी पुंसी अमदी लनथुम से करिसु लैतना खलकपा हौदी इकोनॉमिक फिबम मायोंगना सोए मिचम मियाम से कोई हिंगदरा हिंगोइद्राय बगी फिबम द लैरे
Amuko Poire Lema Apunba Maira Paibi Manipur, Amawova, Kohor, and MSF, along with Singjamay to Lilong Apunba Club and Singjamay to Lilong Apunba Maira Paibi Loop, organized sit-in protests in several parts of Imphal Valley today following the killing of 2 young children in Tronglaubi bomb attack and subsequent shooting by Central Security Forces that claimed 3 more lives. The sit-in protests were held at Kiamgay Mayay Lekai, Langthabal Kunjawang Lekai, Thongju Pechu Lampak, Naurem Lekai, Boroy Makong, Kakwa Namayrakpam Lekai, Kakwa Lamdaybong, Singjamay Chingamaka Sayon, and Chingamaka Sanakhongnang. All Kiamgay Nupi Chaukat Taurang Loop President Moirang Thim Sobita said expectations from the new government after President's rule was peace in Manipur, but the situation has only worsened. She demanded immediate end to violence in Manipur. At Maira Paibi member Ahanthem Ibecha said both ruling and opposition groups have failed the people. The central government does not treat the people of Manipur as its own citizens, adding that if this continues, people may have to think of separating from India. At Singjamay Chingamaka, organized by Sayon, a member of Sayon Nupilop, Maisnam Ongbi Memton said 2 innocent children were killed in Tronglaubi bomb attack and another 3 deaths in CRPF firing during subsequent protests, which are unacceptable. Even though central government remains silent, Manipur government should act according to people's will. Chingamaka Kongnang Maira Loop President addressing the gathering said such unfortunate incidents should not be repeated in the future. She opposed the silence of a government of India when Manipur is suffering. She also urged the government to replace central forces with state forces.
Hauzik Sarkar Paibiriba, Singam, Himalaya, Santi Purapanga, Mani Hairaga, Ecoda, Senbiriba, Foxy Wari Tawase, Manipur Sarkari, Hum Paibiri, Singa, Matingla, Pudopina, Masagi Tona, Upidana, Himalaya, Santi Purapio. I could get Hijabra pilot in Manipur Gomanga Sinabagi, Darkali Adu, Manipur Sarkar Pari, Hidulaikoina, 2 minutes late of the Yaro, Nakoi Sarkar, Munabagi, Hum Paibagi, Adu, my quite Pande, indigenous people worry by Koda, Miot Mina Sataragai, Lenga, 2 minutes late of Pigano. India government that action view isagi thongna pudo pidona
ma kaina pabok ta kai mo na khaira kanta ani kaina ri neba sibok ta khaira trabane ba akoi sima koina India gi citizen ama hoina ubidra brasil state government su kai phaide opposition ju ita ba ka manare sikari no ba koina to beje yen da ba di am dai ba se kai ai to pa ngam le ba ubam to I lenga kwai bi di ba ai koi gi lusing mani haidul lai bi di ba sing asina masagi oiba punamak adu thadokpire hairaga Manipur haiba lamdam mase karamai kangadage haiba sidaida apunba unity oiba khongjang ma changbiragane aikoi myam sum kanna bongtong hona biu
Praja singje kari ka maina leigaduina haibase akoi leibam jabong khangdre ngasina hayeng na kana ge khoi hoji kamai tona leigadoibano asuk thina warbu matam chida praja singge awa base khangdana sarkar na thina lesan base asi nuaite adu hoji leiba paliba anobo sarkar sina amutang takhai ang aroi bangam khayama khanghandana ne na khayama sendukna base pame.
People's Alliance for Peace and Progress (PAPP) General Secretary Longjam Sanjoy emphasized the importance of a decisive strategy in sustaining a public movement until its goals are met. He was speaking to the media on the sidelines of a public discourse on the mass protest against the Tronglaubi incident at the Malom Awang Ibudho Pakhangbo Community Hall. The event was organized by women folk from Malom to Maitram stretch. Speaking further, Sanjoy noted that past failures in public movements often stem from a lack of coordination and expressed confidence that unity and leadership by a robust organization would yield the desired results. He further observed that the state is seemingly trapped in a cycle of propagation and retaliation where security forces inflict civilian casualties in response to provocations. Sanjoy also called for a unified movement to successfully achieve collective goals.
Say home party cycle of the home really among Mangam the Upon my Pahandi, Mahia, Yalan, strategic clarity in Makata, Simba, a big unified and discipline, a central district of Makata, a strong organization or strong committee, a Makata, the Pungan cycle in America, a good Muslim, to book over. Have the egg I must try having a action of local.
Local club and women folk of Laipam Sipai Kuno today organized a sit-in protest against the Tronglaubi incident and the CRPF's firing upon civilians at Sangakpam Bazar, Imphal East. During the protest, demonstrators used several placards denouncing the two incidents. They also demanded justice for the victims of the incident.
Central forcing Jina, question the Ladiba Mapam, Nakraba Mapam to the Capsulaga Hale. Ado Itadi, Makoi Lady Matokari Tarige. Other than Makoi, Layaningre, Makoi Mahuta, Akoi State Forsanga Hanbiro, Ladyba, Central forcing J, Loinus Alhan Bikro, Karimarong the Moy Lapam Toiban Mapam Sida, Akoina, no Magisuras Azaba Mingatani, Ladyba Mayam Singje, Kayang Quide Sahi Hum Pazilla Avenue, 2023, Megi 3 Degi. Awana kaya tadana akhoi si leira aba khoi bu hoji phawda kayang koina smaina tawdoino aduduna masi kaina tawba ngamoi tawbo oi tardi akhoi gi CM wai khemchan busu pham thadok piu haina akhoi haijaningi.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Opportunity for local operators. SKTV is expanding. Come and be a part of SKTV revolution with high-speed internet, IPTV along with OTT and other benefits. We are building stronger connections through franchising. Become a local cable operator and provide reliable information and entertainment to your neighbors. Unlock your growth with our technology and top-tier service. So if you're looking for exclusive partnership opportunities, then please call us at 700-5259-437 or 897-420-9157.
Welcome back. Regional Institute of Medical Sciences RIMS Imphal has secured second rank among Government of India institutions with workforce of 1,000 to 2,500 employees during the Karmayogi Sadhana Saptah organized by Capacity Building Commission as part of its 5th Foundation Day celebrations held from April 2nd to April 8th of 2026 and extended till April 10th. Conducted on iGOT Karmayogi portal, the initiative promotes anytime, anywhere capacity building through diverse courses ranging from office procedures and rules to advanced subjects like artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Competing alongside premier institutions such as All India Institute of Medical Sciences, the achievement is seen as a major boost to RIMS's prestige and employee morale, particularly as it was accomplished during a period of internet suspension in the state. The director of RIMS congratulated the staff for their success and urged them to continue their commitment and dedication in future initiatives. Now, as part of its ongoing observance of the 46th Realization Month, the All Manipur Students Union MSU organized an essay competition today on the topic Influx of Foreigners in Manipur, Its Impact and the Way Out. In a press release, Information and Publicity Secretary Sarto Rengnayar-Kom informed this to media while reiterating its demand for the implementation of the National Register of Citizens (NRC) in Manipur. The statement criticized the government for sidelining the issue by postponing the census instead of making a genuine effort to update the NRC. Warning of a strong uprising in the state, even if the census is delayed for a decade, the student organization urged the government to move beyond temporary measures. The students' organization also called for a mass awakening to protect the state from influx of illegal immigrants. Former Minister Moirangthem Hemant on Sunday alleged that cases of mental distress have increased in Manipur under BJP rule, asserting that the state can be saved if Congress returns to power. He was speaking at the Congress Workers' Meet for Phundrai held at Phundrai Muslim Khunda under Wangjing Tentha Assembly Constituency, polling station number 34/39, organized by Wangjing Tentha Block Congress Committee. Hemant claimed that continued BJP rule would bring further hardships to the state and questioned suitability of the present government for Manipur. He also expressed surprise that the Prime Minister has not commented on the deaths of women and children in the state. Stressing the need to protect indigenous people, he called for implementation of NRC to identify illegal immigrants and cautioned that the people must be prepared to face challenges if census is conducted against public demand. He further maintained that the Congress party does not discriminate on religious grounds and stand for unity among all communities.
Asi Manipur si amware BJP lengak leibadagi Manipur di BJP se ya chanadre PR thame yadre sarkar aba paile yadre mantri sile yadre chief minister sile yadre sin leire ana aba phatra guli isa jo phatre khalaba ek chab de allergy leire ba adu guli jo sum cha leire di mi sidam ne hoy guli sin do boda ka hoy doctor atopa ma di yengma mathau tare adu raniti gi lon de di Manipur ga chanaba amata bo ngairaba party di Congress party natra to pama lekre.
Assam Rifles reaffirmed its enduring bond with veterans as senior officials visited 104-year-old retired rifleman Shatri Dhan Thapa, a distinguished World War II veteran of 4th Assam Rifles and a resident of More in Tengnopal district. During the visit, officials honored his exemplary service, expressed deep appreciation for his contributions, and presented essential daily use items as a gesture of care. In a separate incident, Assam Rifles personnel responded swiftly to fire outbreak at Ward Number 3, Paitam Ving, reportedly caused by transformer short circuit. The blaze, which originated in a grocery shop owned by Kisan Yadav and spread to adjoining houses, was brought under control through coordinated efforts with the fire brigade, with troops deploying water bowser and implementing timely measures to contain the fire. The prompt action prevented a major disaster, limiting property damage to around 20 lakh rupees, while no casualties or injuries were reported. Now, Sanskar Bharati Manipur Prant has demanded immediate revival of a repertory grant for 126 cultural organizations of Manipur that were abruptly excluded by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India for the financial years 2024-25 and 2025-26. Addressing a press conference at Brahmapur Harikhago Makhong today, the Executive Committee of Sanskar Bharati Manipur expressed serious concern over what it described as the ministry's apparent indifference towards the state's rich art and culture heritage. General Secretary Gurumayum Bisheshwar Sarma stated that the ministry's evaluation committee issued an order on March 23rd, suddenly withdrawing the repertory of grant from 126 organizations, including several reputed groups led by Padma Shri awardees and senior gurus. He stated that this decision is not only disheartening but also reflects complete disregard for Manipur's vibrant art and culture by the Ministry of Culture. He appealed to state government to immediately intervene and take up the matter with the Union Ministry of Culture to revive the repertory grant at the earliest, adding that a formal memorandum will be submitted soon to the ministry demanding restoration of the grants. A 13th Foundation Day celebration of Patriotic Writers Forum PAWF Tripura was held at Dashrath Deb Memorial Auditorium in Agartala yesterday. The event was graced by PAWF Manipur President Nauroibam Khambaluang, Manipuri Sahitya Parishad Tripura President L. Biramangal, and PAWF Tripura President KSH Madhavi. During the event, attendees prayed for the eternal peace of the deceased in the Tronglaubi incident and the subsequent firing upon civilians by CRPF in a camp. 19 new office bearers of PAWF Tripura for the year 2026 to 2029 were also received, besides holding a cultural exchange program between Manipuri folk singer Benita Laishram and artists from Tripura. In sports, we have the first inter-district junior boys and girls cash prize Kabaddi Tournament 2026, originally scheduled to be held from April 17th to 19th at Neta Club Kangla Sangom Sang, has been postponed indefinitely due to the prevailing law and order situation in Manipur. A press release issued by Manipur State Kabaddi Association MSKA General Secretary stated that the decision was taken during a joint meeting of Manipur State Kabaddi Association MSKA, Imphal East Kabaddi Association IEDKA, and Northeastern Trainees Association. It stated that the event will be rescheduled for a later date once normalcy is restored in the state. And now we have the weather report. According to ICAR Regional Center Lamphelpat, state's maximum temperature was recorded at 27.5 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 15 degrees Celsius. The maximum relative humidity was measured to be 81% in the morning and 45% in the evening. And now, before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at deadlines once again. Injured mother Oinam Benita in Tronglaubi blast cries for justice, vows not to step back until those behind heinous acts are punished. Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity COCOMI to continue agitation along with people until government takes action on Tronglaubi killings. COCOMI advisor Jitendra Dingomba alleges government targeting leaders working to save Manipur instead of confronting illegal immigration challenge. Development Committee and Namdilong Village Authority warn armed Kuki elements to refrain from any movement or activity in Kanglatongli area. And Manipur government extends mobile internet ban in 5 valley districts, Imphal West, East, Bishnupur, Thaubal and Kaching districts till April 14 amid tense situation. And that is all the news we have for now. More news coming up at 8. Keep watching SKTV News.